Once devices have been paired and moved to an area, you can define the area behaviors by selecting the area and scroll down to the Sensor Settings section. In this example, we have a sensor in this area. If I did not have a sensor, the sensor settings would not be visible here. Once the sensor is moved into an area, the sensor is disabled. To enable the sensor, select Occupancy or Vacancy. Occupancy sensing turns lights on when motion is detected and off when there is no motion. Vacancy sensing only turns lights off when there is no motion. It still requires the user to manually turn the lights on. In this example, we will select Occupancy, and you'll see several different settings that can be adjusted. Sensitivity levels can be adjusted from low, medium, and high. The when occupied will define the action that will happen when motion is detected. Do you want the lights to turn on at their last known dim level? Or do you want them to turn on at a specified dim level every time? Occupancy timeout is where you can specify how much time should pass before the next event takes place. This can be set between 1 minute and 240 minutes. Standby light level and standby timeout only apply when using bi-level dimming. For example, after 20 minutes of no motion, I want my lights to dim to 20%, and after another 10 minutes of no motion, I want my lights to turn off. Finally, when vacant, defines the behavior of the lights after the specified timeout. Scroll down to the daylight settings. To enable daylight harvesting, simply press the toggle button so it turns green. In this example, we get an error message because the sensor settings are set up to adjust to a specified dim level and would conflict with daylight harvesting. To use daylight harvesting, set the sensor's settings to turn on at last dim level when the space is occupied. Now you can enable daylight harvesting. Select the target light level field to set the threshold value and press Done. The device will attempt to maintain the specified light level by using its onboard photosensor. Now select the time frequency option to set how often the light sensor takes a reading. This can be adjusted between 1 minute and 60 minutes. Once the time frequency is defined, press Done. Select Control Sensor to choose the sensor in this area that you want to control daylighting with. Daylight harvesting is now enabled and will control the lights in this area based on your settings. In the photocell section, you can enable and adjust the photocell settings. Select the toggle button so it turns green. Set the on and off threshold values that are appropriate for your application. When the current daylight value is below the threshold, the lights will turn on, and when it is above the threshold, the lights will turn off. Now select the time frequency option to set how often the light sensor takes a reading. This can be adjusted between 1 minute and 60 minutes. Once the time frequency is defined, press Done. Select Control Sensor to choose the sensor in this area that you want to control daylighting with. The photocell is now enabled and will control the lights in this area based on your settings.